doing what he knows best, igniting a second chance for a bike and a rider. Two-stroke or four-stroke, from budget builds to best in class, from the Bakersfield Hills to the Supercross track. You're watching the London Max YouTube channel. You're watching the London Max YouTube channel.
So guys, the color palette of this thing is just, I think it's so sick. So everything from burnt bronze hubs, how even the Dirt Trick sprockets has more of kind of like the earth tones in it. Then you come up to the rear shock that AHM just did for us, and like even just how the color just kind of plays with all the weld treatment stuff that we did on this. And then moving forward, you know, we got the Pro Taper upper clamp on this thing, and we have this very earthy, dark tone, almost like a mocha bean, coffee bean kind of theme going here, down all the way to the DLC coated lowers, and then back again to our, you know, burnt bronze Cerakote, guys. I mean, this thing just stellar. All the weld colors everywhere, the pipe, frame. This thing is just looking so good, guys. Wow, I can't wait to get this thing out in the sunlight and really just see how all the colors play, because it's bad. So now we're gonna just go on real quick to installing our air boot for the Smartcarb. I've mentioned it before, but just to be totally clear with any of you who are thinking about running the Smartcarb, what you guys have to do is right here. This is 100%, this snorkel valve right here, this is 100% why this carburetor is as amazing as it is. And what we have to do is we have to modify the air boot just a little bit. Now, we're not talking about like brain surgery here, but I'll show you what we have to do. But this vent is 100% why this carburetor is amazing. It's also why you don't have any vent lines coming off of it anywhere. This is literally just a drain for the bowl. But this is where the magic happens on this carburetor, and you need to make sure that nothing's blocking it or in front of it. So we have a brand new air box up here. Actually, the air box is off eBay, but the air boot, the whole air boot is completely resealed. Now, I've seen this before with guys who rebuild bikes. They'll rebuild a bike, and then after not even an hour of riding, their pistons are already just nasty. And it's because you guys really need to get back in and reseal your air boot. It is so important. All my bikes, whenever I do a build on them, I reseal the air boot. It is so important, guys. But anyways, what we need to do is, so right up on the top here, there's this casting. And this casting is just it's a bumper. That's all it is. So we need to trim this thing down. I have this sanding flap disc right here that I've kind of customized a little bit, but we come in here and we just kind of massage a window until it's nice, and it will look like a fresh, like ported boot almost, right? So this lip just right in here, we just want to take this lip out so it clears that valve, that air valve in the Smartcarb. And then after that's done, that is going to allow that air to flow into that Smartcarb just like they intend it to. It's such a rad design, and that's the only modification you have to. All right, guys, we are tuning in our suspension, getting it all dialed, and I just wanted to take a second to tell you guys how important it is about torquing your triple clamps. A lot of you guys don't do it, and you who do it, congratulations, you're doing the right thing. So inside the fork, there are bushings on the inner tubes, and if you pinch these tubes too tight, you will get binding on the actual bushings, and it wears them out prematurely. You lose fork seals quickly. Look in your owner's manual. Now, these are Yamaha forks we're putting on this Kawasaki, and I know what to torque them at, but here's the method. So when you're tightening, you go one bolt. Okay, and a lot of people just torque the top one, and then they move on to this. The thing is, now this is torqued, but this is not. Watch. Now it is. Now this one also is not. Now they should be both. Yeah, 2 times each on that. Same thing with the top one. Same thing. Got to run these bolts in. These are all brand new Bolt MX Hardware bolt kits that we put in this thing. And bolts will stretch, but if you're using the proper torque on these things, they shouldn't stretch too much. And these are really high quality bolts too. So here we go. First. So again, this, even though it's torqued now, I can still go back and it still is still on torque. Okay, now that one is, but this one's back down to probably about a 10 foot-pound. Same thing. Now they both should be about on. That one took a little bit more. And this ensures that we're not over clamping our tube, and we're not creating that pressure inside the fork where it's going to wear out those bushings and prematurely wear out your forks. Get a torque wrench. This one is from our local Lowe's hardware store. Not sponsored. This is just the one that I use. This is the one that we use on Team HEP Suzuki, and after I used it for a whole year, I was like, I got to get one. So I got one as soon as I got back. They're about $250. Sometimes you get them on sale for about $200, but it's worth every penny. This is just a 3/8 drive, and it's all digital programming for your torque. And they work really, really good. So it doesn't matter what torque wrench you have. Look inside your manual. It'll tell you your specs here. Use that and make your forks last a long time. Guys, we are just piecing more and more of this puzzle together. We're coming down to just the last few components. I got to put on an hour meter, like brake lever, some cable routing stuff. I mean, we're really just kind of getting down the last things. We have a chain we have to put on. I have to put on a roller, just really like coming down to the last few things here. So we changed out the head. So you guys know, this head it's a redesign. I really, really dig the whole fat head. Like, so you guys, if you don't know about fat head, they're such an improvement over the OEM, not just because of performance, but they increase your cooling, and the interchangeable domes, if you wanted to, you could change. We're going to be running a race. It's just a little bit more than what he said. You have to run like 95 plus in this thing, like up to about 100 octane. But these domes, they literally pop out of the heads, and so you're able to just change even your power curve simply as removing 6 bolts, your upper motor mounts, spark plug, coolant hose, and then you literally change your power band, you know. So Luke sent me over this one. This is just a redesign. This is the one that we had on it before. Really dig this, how it ties in with the Smartcarb. All this billet going on, just looks super, super rad. But Lucas gave me the permission to do this, guys. So this was on the bike. The reason we moved away from this is he has special motor mounts that convert this head, but we spent all this nice time Cerakoting these mounts and everything, and they wouldn't fit to this head. But Lucas at Fathead Racing, he has the correct mounts for it, and he gave me permission to give this thing away to one of you guys. Now, this fits, I think it's either 05 to 07 KX250. I think that's what it is. I'll put it up on the screen here. I'll make sure, but I think it's 05 to 07. And but anyways, I want to give this away to one of you guys, but I don't want to just give it to one of you guys who wants it. I want to give it to one of you guys who needs it. If you have you know, an 05, 06, 07 KX250, and you want to give a fathead a try, I want to give this to you. Here's how we're going to do this. On Instagram, follow me at LondonX, follow Fathead Racing, and I'm going to be putting up a picture of this thing, and I want you guys to put up a photo, make a post on Instagram with a picture of your 05, 06, or 07 KX250, and tell me why you need this fathead. Lucas and I will get together, we'll pick one of you guys, and I will personally ship this thing in, and Lucas will ship you the correct motor mounts that you need to run this thing. And again, I can't thank Fathead enough for supporting the channel, supporting the build, and hooking you guys up with a fathead. The current dome that's in here right now is just a pump gas dome. If you guys want to have a race gas dome, just let us know when you are selected as a winner. So good luck to you guys. Let's continue with this build. It is getting really, really freaking close to throwing on the plastics here shortly. Guys, AHM Factory Services absolutely nailed it out of the park. This fork coating is it's a little bit darker than the normal. This is more of like I'd say like a coffee color. It's darker than the other ones I have on the 325 worst bike on Craigslist. But got the DLC coated lowers, and we can't wait to put this thing on the dirt and find out exactly how it feels. I'm sure it'll feel amazing. I mean, honestly. So yeah, airbox all brand new. We clearanced out that piece for the scoop, the snorkel on the carburetor. I don't even want to call it a carburetor because it's more of like a fuel injection thing. So throttle body. We're gonna call it a throttle body. So that's all modified. We're really just getting down to the last few things here, guys. You put the chain on, get that adjusted. Everything on this bike, guys, is brand new, save you from the frame and subframe. I think we've replaced everything else. Linkage bearings are all brand new. Foot pegs, those are not new. Brake lever, he just blinged out the original. Rebuilt all the brake system though. Vapor home the radiators. Guys, this bike is so juicy. I can't wait to get this thing on the ground with the plastics on. That is the next step. That is what we're moving towards right now. Let's put you on a little bit of time lapse, get the rest of this thing together. I'm really excited. Let's go.
Guys, we're done for now. We got a lot of graphics still to put on this thing. We're waiting just on Aramoto on those ones. I thought they're going to be here, but it's we're taking a concept and having them apply it to this to make it look like a factory bike. But guys, we're going to go for the first fire. I just filled the tank with 100 octane Sunoco fuel. We mixed it with Reverend Holy Smoke 2-stroke at 40 to 1. And we're gonna go for the first fire right now. So Smartcarb, they say for the first time you fuel it, so you turn on the gas and do not apply throttle whatsoever. So you just want kick it by your foot only. See what happens. Okay, that was just first heat cycle there, guys. We're gonna let it sit for just about 15 minutes, run it through another one, but that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I love every single one of you guys so much. Here's just a sneak peek of what's to come. The next video, we'll get our graphics. We're gonna do the hard release on the bike, put it on some dirt and see how this thing does. But enjoy it for now. It's gonna get even better. See you later, guys.